for a lot of people, it's just socialising and not knowing how to do small talk. They don't know how to converse with people, again, outside of the role they play. They don't know how to have a conversation. And speaking from experience, when I used to work behind a bar or manage places, I played a role, so I could socialise really easily. But when I knocked off and sat on the other side of a bar, I didn't know how to talk to the very same people that I interacted with every day. I didn't know how to socialise or network or do small talk.
Some of that comes down to being shy, and some personalities have a shy personality. But a lot of it, and I know this from personal experience, not me, could come down to trust issues. I mean, some people don't trust enough in other people to share personal details.
But when we socialise or we conduct small talk, it doesn't have to go to a personal level. It's about finding balance in our work and home and our social life, and that's often a challenge for a lot of people. So it's we get comfortable in those day-to-day roles. We don't know how to not be personal, because everything in our life, it's about our personal life. So when we go amongst strangers, how do you do that? And I'm often asked, how? Because people feel awkward in social situations, and they often dread going to the races or going to the Christmas parties because they have to talk to people and they don't know how. It's, they feel antisocial, and it can become, lead into other problems.
Not only that, I mean, how do you choose between approaching someone or being approached?
It can make some people so anxious they just won't go, they won't socialise. So I thought we'd talk about some quick tips on how to become a champion conversationalist and help people go into any social scene, love it in the end.
So where do you start?
First up, body language. Smile. Fake it until you make it if you have to, but smile, because when we smile, it relaxes our body and it makes us feel less anxious. So it's easy to do, and by the way, it's very contagious. Dress for success. Wear something that makes you feel confident, maybe in your favourite colour or comfortable shoes or whatever it is, something that you feel good about yourself when you wear it. Now, there's a secret. Even though we often think that people are looking at everything that we say or we do or we wear, guess what? Most often they're not. We're so wrapped up in ourselves or in our own world, we don't even take notice of what you're wearing or what you do or how you say it. So too many times we have this little voice in our head, and that becomes that turns into paranoia, and we think everyone is looking at me. They don't like my hair, they don't like the way I look, they don't like my shoes, they think my bum looks big. They're not looking at you. They don't think your bum looks big. They don't even notice what colour you're wearing. They're so wrapped up in their own world, and that's us as human nature.
Also, I had this conversation with a young Gen Y the other day. Now, he had this great photo on Facebook, and he said, and he started picking on a component of it. And I said, tell you the truth, I didn't even notice it. I said, do you realise that when people look at you, it's from a one-dimensional perspective? They take in the whole look from top to bottom. Not very often will they hone in on that red zit you've got on your face.
Absolutely. Whoever notices the red zit that, we spend hours trying to cover up before we walk out the door, no one even notices it. You simply tell it, thank you for sharing. And you just concentrate on having fun. Move on. When we talk about the small talk, there is a formula for success. So you can go into any social scenario and confidently converse with other people. There's the formula. So here it is. Questions are the answers. We ask questions to people because at the end of the day, you are the expert on yourself. So Joe, Fred and Mary are the expert on Joe, Fred and Mary. So if you ask them questions about themselves, they're going to love it because they know all the answers.
And they get to do the talking, so you're asking questions.
That's it. We ask non-personal questions about people and show an interest in them. Don't ask a question and lose attention. Don't start to look at what's going on over their shoulder. Give them your attention. Now, questions lead to more questions, which leads to conversation, and pretty soon you'll be a natural.
What kinds of questions? Because there are different topics.
Well, there are different topics, and I guess women will ask it in our women way and men will ask it in bloke language. But some of the things ask about family. Men or women, do you have children? How old are they? What school do they go to? What do they do? Where do they work? Ask about their work. What do you do? Where do you work? How long have you been doing that? How did you get into that? Just non-personal questions about what they do, because remember, we spend over 80% of our time at work. It's part of our life. So ask non-invasive questions about work.
And you notice one thing, and I notice this because it's what I do, they're all open questions.
We're asking a question that they can give us a conversation back with, a paragraph or 2 paragraphs. We're not asking a yes or no question because remember, We want this to lead to conversation. We want to be an interesting person.
And open questions have a who, what, when, why, how attached to it.
So that, one question can lead to a dozen, and pretty soon you stop thinking about the formula and you just talk to somebody. Ask people about, I often say, are you from here? Oh, yes, I am. Or how long you been here and what have you done? Or, well, no, I'm not from here. Where are you from originally and what made you come here and what do you like about the area? A question can lead on a tangent, and they're, like you said, they have to be open. I often ask people, what do you do for fun? Are you into sport? Do you have any hobbies? These are non-evasive questions, but they're all about that person. And someone, if you've got a passion or a sport that you love, it doesn't take long for you to get caught up in that conversation. The key to all our questions that we've talked about, number one, absolutely open questions are the key, but questions need to be general and non-evasive. They're about the other person and you show genuine interest in getting to know them. But we never ask personal questions when first meeting someone, how long have you been married and what do you do and how did you do it? And we don't want to invade someone's private time or their comfort zones.